I was reeling from the death of my first wife when I proposed. I was broken. I was grieving. I was a man with questions heavier than answers. And then you arrived, not as a bandage, but as breath, as truth. You knew before our first kiss, before we walked the aisles of forever, you knew that I carried something the world calls a virus, something that society calls a shame. But you saw through that, through me, and said yes. Yes to me, not to a virus, not to HIV, to the human being, me. Not to some clinical label, certainly not to some sterile clinical label, but to a shared life, messy joy, and sacred risks. And in that yes, you didn't just accept me. You confronted centuries of stigma. You slapped silence in the face. You made medicine and love dance in the same breath. You dared biology, consulted doctors, sat in waiting rooms, pregnant with questions. You laughed at impossibility and told it, not today. You carried our children, beautiful, brilliant, and uninfected. But even if they weren't, you said you would still carry them. You carried me too, through guilt, through that occasional tremble I never voiced out loud. You wiped it off my face like it was just dust, and still you glowed. You did it without public applause. Yes, you did it without public applause. You bore the whispers, the side eyes, the thinly veiled questions. How could you love him? You could have walked away, but instead you walked deeper in. You risked your body, your mental health, and your reputation. What a service. Your love and service to me reminds me of Eliezer, one of King David's mighty men. When David yearned for water from a faraway fountain, just a longing spoken out loud, Team Eliezer broke through enemy lines to fetch it. And David, overwhelmed by their loyalty, declared himself unworthy of such a gift and poured the water out before the Lord. I too have learned. I cannot wish for anything within your earshot, for you will go to war to get it. And more than once I have stopped short of wishing, because your love knows no limits. And in return, I owe you a thank you that no language has yet invented. So I borrow this podcast, this sound, this unworthy instrument, to shout it from the mountaintops. You are unmatched. Let the world hear this and know there are women whose love does not depend on blood test results. There are men worth loving even when systems and cultures say otherwise. There is family beyond what virus defines. To every listener, if you have a wife like mine, love her out loud. If you are a wife like mine, we honor you. You are gold forged in fire. To my love, you are the finest story I'll ever tell, and the greatest medicine I'll ever know. Next time on Unmasked and Trihiving, we talk about the body-spirit divide. What happens when you feel spiritually whole, but your body is judged as cursed or broken? We challenge that narrative and reclaim both the flesh and the spirit. Until then, don't just wait to be chosen. Love like you already are. For
Thanks for joining us on Unmasked and Trihiving. If this episode spoke to you, share it with someone carrying silent grief or sacred fire. Subscribe, review. Come back next week. Come walk with us in the abundance, authority, and victory of eternal life.